Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, just leaving my home base number 4, depends on how you count, here near Carrizozo, New Mexico. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Temperature last night was a cool 50 degrees, and yeah, been nice. Been very, 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 very nice, and we're 90+% done on this deal. We'll probably close the middle of October, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. What I'm going to talk about is boondocking, just a little bit of local knowledge. I've boondocked several times. Most of the time I had a AGM battery, 120 amp with solar, 120 watt, and that worked pretty good for certain things. But with my Class C motorhome, totally different deal. I've got a 4,000 watt generator and a lead acid battery that I think is 80 amps. And and there is a difference, on a lead acid battery, full is say 12.6 volts and up, and 50% would be about 12 volts even. So, got something rattling back here. I got my trash back there, that's what it is. Hang on. I gotta fix this rattle, if I can. It's a can in there rattling. But anyway, so yeah, 12.0, 12.2 volts on a lead acid battery is 50%. And that's about as far down as you want to drain a lead acid battery. Why? Because it'll damage them if you drain them too far down when you're using them. I don't know exactly what it does, but it does. On a AGM battery, you can go a little lower, and on a lithium battery, you can go a lot lower. So, as far as price, so, lithium is by far the most expensive, but it's the lightest and lasts longest, and, it's just a better battery. If you have the money, I would recommend lithium, and if you don't, go to AGM. They're good. And you can drain those below 50%, about 40, and you're okay. And but all of them have a different, reading for full and empty and stuff like that. But I won't get into that. Just for lead acid batteries, 12.6 volts plus is pretty close to a full battery, and 12.0 is about as low as you want to go before you might damage the battery. Now, as far as charging time to recharge your batteries, using the 4,000 watt generator on the Class C motorhome, the Onan 4,000 watt generator, it takes about, the battery this morning was at about 70%, 75%, 70% closer. And in an hour, it was full. But you get a bounce. In other words, it'll show full while the generator's running, of course. And then when you cut the generator off, it'll drop down a little bit, and then it'll come back up a little bit. So you got to wait a few minutes to get another, quote, good reading. So just as a guideline for me, 25% charge using the generator will take about 40 minutes. 50%, hour and a half approximately. It charges pretty quick. I was surprised. And with solar, depending on what you're getting from the sun, that's a big variable. So, with that in mind, what else? Yeah, the energy hogs and camping with a travel trailer, fifth wheel, motorhome, whatever you got. The energy hogs are the 12 volt pump. If you're using it very much, that'll suck up some energy. The 12 volt fan on the furnace is extremely energy inefficient. And you can't run the air conditioner without running the generator or having a lot of solar. And but the things that as far as lighting, if you've got LED lighting or lights, then you don't have to worry about lights. You can leave the lights on all night because they just don't use hardly any energy at all. So lighting is not an issue. Now, television and stuff that you try to run off 12 volt batteries, depends on the TV, the size, and a whole lot of other variables, and then how many things you're trying to charge. Charging a phone and stuff, that's not using much energy at all, but I just charge phones and stuff. Like I'm driving now, and I've got my phone charging. I've got two phones. I got one I'm doing the video with, and then one laying in the seat, and I've got the one laying here being charged. So that gives me a full battery most of the time. And then if I need to charge my laptop, which takes a while, I've got a little 75 watt adapter that fits into the cigarette lighter that I plug in the phone to, or the laptop, and then that charges that. But everything else, as far as the refrigerator on propane uses very little 12 volt energy. If you put the refrigerator, if it has the option, now most of the new refrigerators only offer 110 volt and propane, and that's it. Now the older refrigerators offer 110, 12 volt, and propane. So bear that in mind. But whenever you're running a refrigerator just directly on 12 volt, it'll suck up the energy pretty quickly too. I don't know how many amps, but it does quite a bit. And then for heating, of course, the furnace is one option. And occasionally, like this morning, I ran the furnace for a little while, and then I had to do call the video, and I turned the furnace off and the generator off because I didn't want to listen to it. And later on, it got a little cool, so I just put on one burner on the stove, the propane stove, for about, just put it on a pretty low setting for about, I don't know, it warms pretty quick. You don't want to use that much though, because it's also sucking the oxygen out of the air, and you could be a dead person. But if you have a oxygen or O2 sensor in your RV, that's a good idea, particularly in the wintertime when you're using possibly different types of heating. They make a heater for RVs. It's a portable thing, but I don't know, man. I don't know how safe it is. It puts out a lot of moisture. Heating puts out a lot of moisture. Okay, using propane puts a lot of moisture in the air in the inside of the RV. So, if you have those little granulated dehumidifier things, that'll help you keep moisture and condensation off the windows. And if you have a 110 volt, like I have a 110 volt dehumidifier, and when I'm camped in places that have electric, I run it if I'm going to be running the propane heater, which I normally don't, because with electric I use the electric heater. So having said that, guys, how's the new place? How was it last night? Very quiet, beautiful stars. I mean, there's no street lights in that whole area, and that's wonderful. The only obstruction, you got the little town of Carrizozo, population 800, but there's not enough light there to obscure or block your night sky view. And so, yeah, it was really pretty last night, really pretty morning this morning. The prettiest sunrises and sunsets are the ones that have a few clouds in the mix. If it's just perfectly clear, that's pretty also. But if you add a few clouds in for flavor, it gives a lot of different colors, little oranges and pinks and stuff. And so, yeah, it's pretty nice. Here comes a big old RV right here. Oh, that is big motorhome. Yep, a big old good. He's passed. He's tired of being behind that slow car. But be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you a heads up on the boondocking. It's going okay so far. As far as water, not a problem at all. I have got a 50-gallon freshwater tank, and that'll last me, with not even being frugal, that'll last me at least 5 to 6, 7 days. Because I only use 6 or 7 gallons a day. That's being wasteful. Shower takes me, if I just take a slow shower, 2 gallons. And drinking water, I don't drink the water out of the freshwater tank. I do treat the water in the freshwater tank sometimes with a little Clorox to keep it from, getting a lot of bacteria and stuff. But not much. You just need to put a few drops of Clorox in your freshwater tank. If you've had it sitting for a while, it'll clean it up pretty quick. And then what else? As far as pooping and peeing, I pee in a pee jug, pour it out on the ground, and poop in a bag and take it to the trash. And that eliminates having to worry about dumpster stuff. And then as far as the gray water, when I leave my spot there, I'll pull over out there in the field a little bit and drain my gray water before I leave next week. Because it's just soapy water from the shower, the kitchen sink and stuff. Nothing there that's going to cause any issues at all. But whenever I get my full hookup set up at the place I bought, then of course I'll just let everything go down into the septic. Because with one person, me, not using much water or putting much water into the septic system, then you don't have to worry about it flooding the septic system or whatever you want to call it. So with that in mind, now we'll get to the end of this thing. Having said that, I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm working on it. I'm going to Capitan now. I'm going to go to the deli and see what they've got. I'm hoping they have some of that breakfast taco or burrito mix left over. They put it in little containers, the leftover meat and eggs and stuff, and I buy those little containers and just make my own. So having said that, guys, enjoy your day. Adios, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want, anytime, but if you think about it, use the Amazon link to the description of my videos. Some of you that are watching the videos on maybe laptops and phones, you need to hit that little drop-down menu in the description to kind of get the full description, and that's where the link will be. But yeah, if you use the link, I appreciate it. Doesn't cost you a penny. Amazon takes care of me. Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, take care of your health every way you can, because it's very important. So here we go, guys. Next week we'll be on the road again, and then we'll go to Texas, and then we may come back to New Mexico. I'm not sure, but we're working on things. I'm staying busy. Adios, guys. Bye-bye.